Shabbat Shalom. I am Rabbi Lauren Werber from Congregation Beth Adam in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm privileged to share this Shabbat with you. I hope our Shabbat service from a humanistic perspective brings you some of that sense of peacefulness and hope and gratitude that are Shabbat. Since this is our Labor Day weekend, we'll have a little bit of focus on the difference between labor and rest, as well as spending a little time chatting about the labor movement. We begin with a reflection about what it means to rest and to rejuvenate on Shabbat. 6 days we speak. Tonight we listen. 6 days we build. Tonight we rest. 6 days we take care of others. Tonight we nurture ourselves. 6 days we work to change our world. Tonight we are renewed by what is eternal. 6 days we plan for the future. Tonight we are enveloped in the present. 6 days we eat and drink in haste. Tonight we savor the taste of bread and wine and feel the bond of the world that feeds us. 6 days we teach. Tonight we learn. 6 days we hear the clamor. Tonight we listen for clarity. 6 days we struggle to expand our influence. Tonight we are dissolved in a greater influence. 6 days we focus our vision on the task at hand. Tonight we look beyond what we can see. May each of us find our Sabbath peace. Shabbat Shalom. Hine Matov, how good it is to celebrate, to be together, even across space, perhaps across time. Hine Matov.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
On this Shabbat, we create our moment in time. We pause to reflect upon our yesterdays and tomorrows, to renew our ties with family and friends, to restore our energies, to refresh our spirits. As the sun descends and shadows lengthen, the direction of the day gives way to the stillness of night. It is time now for us to see not with our eyes, but with our hearts and minds. As the day gives way to evening, it is time for us to welcome Shabbat. The candles stand before us waiting to be lit. We recall our ancestors as we too seek to dispel the darkness and banish the cold, to bring glowing softness, warmth, and safety into our homes. May the dancing flames of these candles kindle warmth within our hearts, wisdom in our minds, passion in our souls. Baruch ha'or ba'olam, blessed is the light within the world. Baruch ha'or ba'adam, blessed is the light within each person. Baruch ha'or ba'Shabbat, blessed is the light of Shabbat. These words are adapted from the words of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who spoke quite a lot about what Shabbat means and how Shabbat relates to the work of every day and the rest of this special day. From Abraham Joshua Heschel. We are not beasts of burden, and the Sabbath is not for the purpose of enhancing the efficiency of our work. One who wants to enter the holiness of the day must first lay down the profanity of clattering commerce, of being yoked to toil. One must say farewell to manual work and learn to understand that the world already exists and will survive without the help of humans. 6 days a week, we wrestle with the world, wringing profit from the earth. On the Sabbath, we especially care for the seed of eternity planted within us. 6 days a week, we seek to dominate the world. On the seventh day, we try to dominate the self. Shabbat, this seventh day, that sets apart a time for us to step back from the everyday. The words of this song are also based on words of Rabbi Heschel, also speaking of what sets Shabbat apart. Eternity utters a day.
A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day. Eternity utters a day. Lie, 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 lie.
Let's step back in time a little bit and talk for a little while. We're going to jump back to 1909. In 1909, a Ukrainian Jewish immigrant, 23-year-old Clara Lemlich, stood before thousands of garment workers at a union meeting in New York. She had arrived in the United States just 6 years earlier, and within 2 weeks, she began working 11-hour days in a garment factory, 6 days per week, earning $3 per week. Lamenting that she and other workers had the status of machines, she quickly joined the executive board of the local women's union. Back in 1909, at that union meeting, Clara had been listening to speakers on stage, cautiously giving speech after speech, urging patience. Well, finally, Clara lost patience. She stood up and she shouted in her native Yiddish, "I am a working girl, one of those who are on strike against intolerable conditions. I am tired of listening to speakers who talk in general terms. I offer a resolution that a general strike be declared now. The hall erupted. And the next day, almost 20,000 workers, many of them young Jewish and Italian immigrant women, almost 20,000 walked out of the factories and began a strike that lasted over 2 months. The uprising of the 20,000, as it became called, led to shorter hours, safer shops, and more respect for women workers. Clara's story reminds us that Labor Day was not given to us as a gift. It was won by the courage of workers, many of them immigrants, many of them Jews, many of them women. And it is a fight that continues today. Her story also reminds us of something our tradition has always known. In the Torah portion that's traditionally read this week, Shoftim, the text talks about men being called to war. It was men at that time. And as we get these rules for being called to war, we get also a surprising little twist. The text tells us that certain men are exempt from battle. They are anyone who has built a new house but not yet lived in it, anyone who has planted a vineyard but has not yet enjoyed its fruit, it's not yet harvested, and anyone who has become engaged but has not yet married. These groups do not go off to war. And so even in the midst of war, the Torah teaches that family and life's milestones matter. Home matters. Love matters. People deserve time to establish their homes, to nurture relationships, and to begin the next chapter of life. What the Torah is doing here, quite remarkably, is promoting an early form of family leave. The Jewish immigrants and the others who built America's labor movement carried the very same conviction. They organized because they knew that life cannot be reduced to the work we do. They fought for rest, for dignity, for safety, for the chance to be with loved ones. Thanks to them, to women like Clara Lemlich, and to men like Samuel Gompers, who you may know, who founded the AFL, we have weekends. We have the 8-hour workday, child labor laws, safer workplaces. And still we know that this work is far from finished. Today in the United States, unlike just about every other high-income country, we lack guaranteed paid family leave. Only 27%, about a quarter, only 27% of civilian workers have access to paid leave. And that number drops to only 6% when we look at the lowest earners. This means that when parents are welcoming a new child, when children have to care for aging parents, when there is a serious illness in the family, people are too often choosing between getting paid and caring for their loved ones. And the decision becomes harder in lower income families, where the opportunity to take leave is even less likely. It not only hurts families, it also hurts the economy. Research from our own government tells us that paid leave helps women to stay in the workplace while also supporting men. It helps with job recruitment and retention, which leads to greater stability, and it increases the gross domestic product. It's clear that we know better than this. that the writers of the Torah knew better, that the labor movement knew it as well. So as we mark Labor Day this weekend, we honor those who risked their livelihoods and often their safety. Clara Lemlich, like many others, was hospitalized after being beaten in a picket line. And so we honor them, those who risked their livelihoods, those who risked their safety to build a fairer society. And we remind ourselves that we inherit not only the gains that they won, but also the responsibility toward their unfinished task. May this Shabbat, may this Labor Day weekend remind us that the measure of society is not only in its work, but also in its care for workers. May we honor the immigrants and dreamers, the organizers and strikers who fought for dignity and justice. May we remember, as Shabbat teaches us, that family and love, rest and renewal, these are sacred labors too. And may we carry forward the unfinished work of building a world where every person can live, love, labor, and rest. May the taste of such a world, the taste of Shabbat, inspire us to work for all of these things. Shabbat Shalom. We move now to remembering those who paved the way for us, those in the labor movement, but also all those we have loved, all those we've loved and lost who have been shining stars, who have been examples for us, and who leave emptiness in our hearts. We remember first with words of Hannah Senesh. Yesh kochavim she'eram magia arza rak ka'asher hem atzmam avdu ve'enam. There are stars whose light reaches the earth only after they themselves have disintegrated and are no more. And there are people whose memory lights the world long after they have passed from it. These lights, which shine in the darkest night, are those which illumine the path for us. Ein bidei hamavat hakoach la'korma shetamun balev. Death cannot take that which is locked in our hearts. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. With our courage and our strength, we do not forget. Acts of kindness, deeds of courage will remain. Beauty created, wisdom shared is not lost. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. Im dema'ot be'einenu, be'et evleinu, nishmor al zecher ahuvenu. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. Zecher tzadik livracha. May the memory of good people bless our days. Return back to the joy of Shabbat, perhaps the joy of memory, as we lift this cup of wine, tribute to life's enchantments. May we find joy and contentment in our human endeavors. Bruchim hachayim ba'olam. Blessed is the life within the world. Bruchim hachayim ba'adam. Blessed is the life within us. We spoke a little bit about Clara Lemlich, about the immigrants who shaped the labor movement and how she shouted out in Yiddish. We'll honor a different group of immigrants or of people Jews living throughout the world who spoke a different language and speak a different language, and that is Ladino, a mostly Spanish language infused with a little bit of Hebrew. So our closing song this evening, this Shabbat, is Buen Shabbat, good Shabbat. The words mean good Shabbat with health and life, good Shabbat for all the family, good Shabbat with health and life, many, many years with peace and happiness. We turn it over with gratitude for his musical contributions to Brian for our closing song, Buen Shabbat.
Buen Shabbat, con salud y vida. Buen Shabbat a toda la familia. Yararararay, 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 yararararay. Buen Shabbat, con salud y vida. Años muchos, con paz y alegría. Yararararay, 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 yararararay. Buen Shabbat, con salud y vida. Buen Shabbat a toda la familia.
May we know blessings those who are near. May we know blessings those who are far. May the Sabbath bring its goodness to everyone soon, wherever they are. May we know blessings through the day. May we know blessings through the night. May health be for our children. All things soon be right. May we know blessings in our comings. May we know blessings when we depart. May we live each day with peace and wisdom in each heart. And may it be a Sabbath of peace, a Sabbath of rest and rejuvenation, of gratitude and hope. Shabbat Shalom.